Mr. Montero will take that one first. And the question is, in the responses we received, many candidates spoke about prioritizing libraries in the city budget, securing additional aid for libraries, developing public-private partnerships with nonprofits, grassroots organizations, and other government agencies. East Trenton residents are eager to participate with the city on reopening the East Trenton Library. Please tell us more about how you envision neighborhood groups with help from the city to be part of running their branch library.
Libraries are important, and the Pew Foundation has done studies to demonstrate that lower-income minority communities benefit most from libraries and access to libraries. But we're in a situation in Trenton where our budget and revenue situation is such that we have to prioritize different things and unable to fund certain activities like libraries at the level that they have done in the past. So that is forcing us to be more innovative and creative on how we seek and do funding. Something that was discussed here, and I understand that other mayoral candidates are discussing, is to hire someone that their job would be to look for non-governmental funding, grant funding from other organizations. I have friends who work in different foundations that promote libraries and library use, so there's money out there to help communities to reestablish their community libraries with some commitment from them, and we'll like to help identify those. I think the situation with the East, also we have to be sensitive to the fact of that particular building and what it will cost to renovate that building to the level that is required so that it can be used and be safely, and make sure that wherever we do these libraries or open them up, they're accessible. Because if you have to drive to them and you're spending all this money, you have to make sure that's in the neighborhood where it's needed. So certainly that would be helpful, and I would support any activities that will bring some of these libraries back online.
Thank you.
Libraries are very important. They should all be open. In the case of the East Trenton one, that building is a historic building. I don't know if making it an actual public library would be the best use for it. I believe we should build, and if we use another building, there is plenty of buildings, make it a library, because definitely we need a library there. The neighbors in that community have asked me about it. And, but libraries have to be innovative to cover technology, to cover issues, social issues, especially in Trenton. We have thousands of residents that are new to this nation, and they do not speak English well. So why not using the libraries to have ESR programs continuously, not pilot programs, or continuously have technology, have the children use technology at the library. At the same time, the parents will be learning English or learning other things right there at the library. I am for libraries because I used to spend hours and hours at the Academy Street Library. So I used to live at 204 Academy, and I benefited a lot from those libraries. Most of my education was self-taught, although I finished a master's degree eventually. I was.
Thank you. So the East Trenton Library at one time was an anchor in our community. Families would go there with their children and get their vaccinations. There was community events. There was all kinds of things. When the libraries were closed down, the city failed and did not maintain them, and they started to deteriorate. Now, I know the East Trenton Library for a fact. I know that Andy Carton has been trying to get that open for years, and we've worked together with certain organizations. So we do need to form public-private partnerships. The city does not financially have the ability to restore this historic building, which sets certain standards, but there are ways of getting money, and like Alvin said, if he knows foundations that support libraries, then let's partner with them, and let's partner with the East Trenton Collaborative, and let's get some funding going and get some things going on in those libraries. I think two libraries, the one on South Broad Street and the one in East Trenton, are the ones that are in the least of disrepair. but they're in disrepair. And I think that we really need to move forward, and we need to take a different look at the way we're dealing with these libraries in order to open them up. We need to have a strong dialogue with the community and with the administration and council. And this is why I say the new administration and the new council need to be able to come to the table together and figure these things out. Thank you.
I look at it in a different perspective. This is a perspective that I look at it. The building itself needs a lot of work. Let's do some community outreach. Let's reach out to our local contractors to see if they're willing to come in and help restore this fabulous building. Let's look at nonprofits. Let's look at the faith-based organizations. Let's look at the local sororities and the fraternities. Let's look at the Trenton literacy movement. Let's look at everyone. Everyone has the ability to do some form of stabilization, of bringing it back to where it was and where it should be. The community should be coming together. The local merchants should be coming together. This is not only a government piece, it is a community piece, and everyone should be taking a part. Now, wouldn't it be fabulous if our administration, hence the state, give us more money in transitional aid where we can go ahead and do things that we need to do in every single department within the city of Trenton. That's what we need.
Thank you.